Hey Claire, thanks so much for your recent submissions. It's really good to see you getting a bit more engaged with Viscom. I've got everything up on screen here and I'm just going to talk to it really quickly. You'll see that I've also in the email attached this PDF so you can go back and look at some of these things and comments I've made as well. You submitted some more work for week 2 and you also submitted some work for week 5. So first of all we'll talk about week 2. And obviously you've submitted your design brief again here. And look, there's still some aspects which need refining. So check through the PDF and just have another look at that. Oh, how silly. Sorry, I'll just try and get it back on screen again. So look, the main thing is to be really specific about the logo and how you're going to show it in context. So actually tell us what you're going to be presenting at the end. So will it be on a business card, on a letterhead? Some students also present their logos just on an A5 sheet of paper, just to sort of show the logo quite clearly. Most logos tend to be small when they're applied to letterhead and business card, so you might want to show it at a bit of a larger scale if you are going to apply it to a letterhead and a business card. But the main thing is to really make sure that you state really explicitly in your design brief what you're going to be doing. I also thought it was really important that you explain the drawings that you're going to be presenting to show the office design. So you're going to be showing us a plan view. Are you going to be showing us an elevation? Will it be measured? Will it be to scale? Is there going to be colour involved? Are you going to be showing us some of the finishes, the interior finishes? If so, please make sure that you state that in your design brief. If the design brief is vague, then it means for one of the criteria that I assess you on for the final piece, it means I can't give you a very high mark because if you're not being explicit in the design brief, then I can't actually say whether your final presentation, or I can't find how successfully it meets the design brief if your design brief is a bit vague. So let's go through now and just look at some of the extra idea generation. I know you're thinking that you're not being very creative, but I beg to differ. I think what you've done here is really great. I think you've explored some really exciting options. I love these, and this one's wonderful. This negative D cut out of the A. It's just a beautiful kind of simple, but really powerful solution. So I think you're doing really well with the logo, and you've applied some colour, which is really good to see. I don't know if you've got any markers, which texters can do as well, but markers sometimes just give you that really smooth, flat area of colour, and it might be more appropriate for logo design than pencil, because you can kind of make out the white of the paper underneath the pencil. Just a little tip. Now this is going well, Claire, your office design. You've thought of some really interesting shapes, and you're working the individual cubicles and meeting rooms and all of those things within the space, and your comments to me reveal that you're sort of thinking about it and the flow of traffic. I think I've made a comment here that you're actually ready to move on to the development of the office, and I've given you some advice on what you need to do. I think you need to do at least 2 plans, and they should really be at A3 size. You should have elevations of at least 2 directions. I think you also need to show some 3-dimensional sketches, small sketches. Maybe you could fit 4 of those little sketches on an A3 page. But what they can do is they can really help you to visualise the space a lot better. And then for development of your office plan, you've really got to start exploring different materials and media, and rendering some of the interior finishes, letting us know in your annotations what material things are going to be made out of, what the flooring's going to be. Is it going to be polished concrete? Is it going to be carpet? Is there an acoustic problem? In spaces where there's lots of people, carpets are really good for absorbing sound, as are those little petition boards that you probably have around your school that wheel into place, and they can also help to absorb sound. So you may need to do a bit more research about office design and what's important in an office, so that you can really explain in your annotations that you're thinking about those sorts of things, and this should start to be really obvious in your design development. Moving down, you've got some more logo designs here, and here you've really met the needs of the brief, where you've talked a lot about the geometric, plain, simple design, and I can see you've really worked through, sorry for making that too big, you've really worked through and explored that option. So, you know, it's going well, I think, the logo. I think, what have I said? I've said don't be scared to add colour, which I think is really important at the design development stage. I think you've got to have at least 5 to 6 more development pages for your logo, where you really are exploring this idea a lot more, making comments about the elements and principles that have been used. You know, go on the computer, start playing around with these two shapes, the A and the D on computer, create the letter form, I should say, sorry, typography. We no longer call it letter form with the new study design. So really explore the typography and the colour options. That would be great. But, you know, there's some exciting stuff happening with your logo, I really think. You've met the needs of the client pretty well there. I'll just pull up your week 5 work here. You've done your folio checklist, which is really good. Might be a good idea to compare, you know, the assessment you've given yourself with my feedback and the assessment, just to compare and see how it all stacks up. Now, this was your week 5, which should be all your design development. Now, you emailed me and said that there's some more coming, which is great. So I'll just add it onto this little PDF document that I've got. I've obviously already seen this page with week 2. And this is a new page for development. It's really good to see some little sketches here, some little elevations, revealing something about the height and the proportion of windows in the space and doors. Again, this is really good, and you've talked about slanted windows to allow for natural light. You're talking about skylights here, so some really good stuff happening. So, you know, another 6 pages like this with a lot more colour and some more three-dimensional little sketches too will be really good. So you're getting there, Claire. It's really great to see. If you need any more advice or help, just give us a buzz. We can have a chat on the phone. And look through the email and the results. And the results are not necessarily what you're going to get. It's just where you're sitting at the moment with the work I've seen. So just keep more work coming and you'll get there.